can't get you out of my mind. It's like I feel it for the first time. Been thinking about you all night. I've been searching for this all my life. You're just my type. I've been looking for a boy who can treat me right. Your dark
Hey guys, it's Zia. I'm back with my cute husband Christian, and today we're going to be doing South African expressions versus the American expressions. As we have said in the previous video that my husband is American and now I'm the queen of Africa. I'm joking. I'm from South Africa.
This is new to me. I married a queen. No, of course I married a queen.
Aww.
Yeah, so we're gonna do American expressions versus South African expressions. And the way it's gonna work is we're gonna show an image on the screen, and then me and Zia will say what we call that in our own Englishes. And it's gonna be fun. We're gonna roast each other. I'm gonna give Zia a hard time for things that she calls things, and
I'm gonna give Christian a hard time.
she's gonna try her best, but it's not gonna work.
So you guys, Christian has lived in South Africa before. He lived there for 2 years before he met me, and he also lived there when we engaged. We lived there when we were engaged. So he knows some of these expressions, but he likes giving me a hard time anyways.
Yeah, so that's why we came up with this idea, and so some of these may not come up as a surprise to me, but it's still fun to discuss them, and we talk about them all the time. And the funny thing is, we're still discovering new things, even though we've been married for over a year. Okay, so we showed a few pictures that time. The first one, we call it a gas station in America.
And we call it i-garage.
Garage.
I-garage.
So my question is, like, at a house, like you have like the door that closes where you park the car.
I know where you're going with
Yeah.
this. I know exactly where you're going with
So
this.
what do you call that?
I'm gonna call it a garage.
You call it the same thing.
Yeah.
It's confusing.
No, it's not.
Like I'm going to the garage. You're like at the house or?
I'm gonna park the car in the garage in my house.
Oh, okay. So you gotta use extra words to explain yourself.
No, I have to use that shit.
So then obviously we call it gas station. So we don't call it what you guys call it. We call it gasoline, or usually call it gas when you fill up the car.
And then what about the real gas? The one that, what do you call the one you cook with? You also call it gas?
Yeah, we call it gas as well because it's the same thing. It's just different. What do you guys call it what do you fill up a car with?
Petrol.
Petrol.
Petrol. So yeah, I think ours makes more sense because they also like cook with
Gas.
with gas. They call that gas, and they also call petrol gas.
I know.
Which is
I guess you just used my own tactic against me, huh? There was a few times where I would pull up to the garage in South Africa and I would ask him to fill up my car with gas, and they would just laugh. Like, what did you call it? And I'm like, oh my gosh, petrol.
And the other weird thing about America is that there are no people working in the garage. I've never seen anybody working in the garage. But in South Africa, you have people working there,
I
like
filled
people
up for you.
filling up the car for you. But in America, you do it for yourself. And when my husband was teaching me how to do it, I was like, I don't think I can do this. I'm not sure if I can. But yeah,
We gotta do it ourselves. We don't have people helping us out, so it's a little different. And then speaking of cars, there's another one. What do you call the back of a car where you store stuff in?
We call it a boot.
You call it a boot.
Sounds fancy, huh?
We call it
Yes.
a trunk.
I know it sounds fancy. I know. It's a boot.
It's
You get
but-
under a trunk. It's like,
like an elephant. And the worst part is the trunk is on the front of the elephant, but
Yeah.
the trunk is the back of the car.
you see, ours sounds nicer,
Yeah.
and that's actually very correct.
I'm not gonna lie, that was a good roast. You got me. I wasn't ready for that. All right, we call that a barbecue, or if you want to shorten it, a BBQ. But it's more common like barbecue.
And we call it braai. We
Bra.
call it braai, and we know South Africans. Like when we say you're gonna have braai, it's gonna go down. We're gonna have our pop. We're gonna have our sausage. We're gonna have our meat, and it's gonna be so good.
Yeah, for us, we usually have like hamburgers. We have hot dogs. Cook them on the barbecue. But to be honest, I think I kind of prefer Bry. I think Bry sounds cool.
Bry sounds nice. Because,
Yeah.
Because why not?
Yeah, so maybe I'm gonna beat Team South Africa for this one.
For the first time.
But the other thing is we have something called barbecue sauce. And like you've had that before, right? Like I don't know how to explain the flavor though. Like what's the flavor? It's barbecue.
I don't like it though.
You don't like it?
No.
Do you guys have a Bry sauce?
We do have a Bry sauce.
And what does it taste like?
Tastes like meat. Nice and spicy.
It tastes like Bry?
Not really like Bry, but like it tastes like meat.
Is it the same as our barbecue?
No.
Yeah, our barbecue, I don't know how to explain it.
American barbecue is so it doesn't taste good to me.
It's okay, later you'll be Team America.
Since we're on the topic of Bry's and barbecues, our next expression is gonna be mince. We call this mince, and what do you guys call it?
We call it ground beef.
Oh
I know
no!
you hate this one.
Oh no, it's so wrong. It's so wrong.
There was one time where we were engaged and we were shopping and we were supposed to get mince, but I couldn't remember the word. I had forgotten it.
ground
And so I was
beef?
like, babe, we need to get ground beef.
I was so confused. I'm like, what? What do you mean ground beef?
And I was like, oh wait, you guys don't call it ground beef. And I couldn't think of the word. So I had to just go and just show her, and then she's like, you mean mince? And I was like, oh my gosh.
That was not the first time though. That was not the first time. We had a lot more of
Oh yeah.
misunderstandings because of this.
Yeah, and like all the words get mixed up, but like I can't remember what's African and what's American anymore. Like the longer that we're married, like it's just all become one.
Yeah, I'm scared for when I go back to South Africa that I'm gonna be so
And
confused.
you're gonna ask, can we have some
Because I
ground
feel
beef?
Because I feel like now I'm used to how they speak here than what they speak at home.
Yeah.
So hopefully I'm not gonna be confused.
And just to explain, we call it ground beef. Beef is obvious; it's from a cow. Ground is because you ground it up.
No, it's minced up. It's like
Mince is like little chops,
no.
but ground up is like you mush it all together.
It's not ground up. It's minced up.
Oh no, not this one. I'm scared for this one.
In South Africa, we call this Nike. This symbol, we call it Nike, and I don't want to hear what America calls it really. What do you guys call it?
We call it the correct way. We call it Nike.
It's not Nike. There's no Y at the end. There's no Y. There's no IE at the end. It's Nike. It's Nike.
But babe, the company literally is in America. It started in America, and the commercials they call it Nike.
Nike? It cannot be Nike. I don't know. I don't know.
This one bothers me the most because everyone in South Africa says Nike, Nike, Nike.
Because
It's
it is
Nike.
Because it's Nike. It is Nike.
So then, what do you guys call like sports shoes, athletic shoes?
We call them techies.
Techies.
We call them techies.
We call them sneakers
No.
or just shoes.
No.
Do you know what that word is? That Afrikaans word, techies?
No, it's English word. It's like
English?
techie. Yeah.
We don't have any use for that word. I never heard of it until I went there. But yeah, sneakers, correct. Nike, correct. All that stuff, nope.
In South Africa, we call this a jersey.
A jersey.
call it jersey.
Why do you call it jersey?
Keeps me nice and warm and nice.
That's exactly why we call it sweater though. Because sweater keeps you warm, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you're warm, what do? You sweat. That's
It doesn't make sense to me at all. It doesn't make sense. I'm like, a sweater?
Yeah, I don't.
It's a jersey.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with our argument, but so my question is like, what do you call like a sports jersey?
It's a t-shirt.
A t-shirt? Then
It's a
what's this? What's this?
That's a t-shirt too.
So what if you want to talk about like a sports t-shirt? Like, do you call it a sports t-shirt or
You're
just
gonna say a sports t-shirt.
sports t-shirt? Because for us, jersey is like what people wear when they play sports. Like you could say like South Africa soccer team, they wear a jersey.
No. You can't play with a jersey. You can't do that.
Well, not your jersey, but our jersey. All right, the first image you saw is water.
Water.
This one isn't necessarily we call it different. It's just how I pronounce it.
Yeah, it sounds like a D at the end.
Water.
It's water.
Water.
They drag the R.
Can I have a bottle of
Can I
water?
have the bottle of water?
How do you guys say it?
We say water.
Water.
Mm-hmm.
Water.
It's water.
To be honest, I think you guys are correct in this one. I don't know where
It's not about being correct. It's like
It's about being correct, baby. This is the game. And I want to win. Team America.
Team South Africa. Yeah, we call it water, and they call it water.
Yeah.
Water.
We don't pronounce our T's very well, but it's not like that everywhere in America. I think it's just partly from where I'm from as well.
No, it's just you guys. Like you guys, I don't want to say the next word because but you guys drag the R a lot, like you roll it like you drag it. But it sounds nice, but
Yeah.
sometimes it can be hard to understand. Like you think somebody's saying this word, but they're not actually saying that word. You think
Just
they're
how we
saying
pronounce it.
something else. So you gotta listen attentively. So
Yeah. So it reminds me of another drink. We call it soda.
and we call it cool drink. Which
Cool
one
drink.
sounds nicer?
A soda.
Cool drink.
So yeah, there's like we have Sprite, we have Coke. That's called soda. Some people call it soda pop or pop, but soda is the most common.
Yeah, South Africans we like Coke. We call it cool drink, and yeah.
But like Coke can also mean like any type of soda, right?
No,
No, it can't. Oh.
in America it does. It does. Coke means every single.
You want Coke?
Root beer.
You want Coke?
Whatever.
You're like, yeah. And they're like, what kind? You're like, oh, I want Coke. Oh no.
Ah,
You see, that was an example of me like thinking that's how you say it in South Africa, but it's actually what we do in America. Dang it. Oh man, that's embarrassing.
In my beautiful country, we call this a tomato sauce.
Tomato sauce. See now this time you guys are doing the American way where you're just straight up saying like what it is. Like 'cause it's tomato sauce, right? It's sauce from a tomato.
Sauce, yep.
But we got a fancy word for it. We call it ketchup
Ketchup.
with a K. Ketchup.
I don't know why it sounds weird to me because like I feel like I'm saying ketchup with you later. Ketchup for a drink.
Corey, you want to catch up later?
Ketchup.
It's like, no, I don't want ketchup on my hamburger.
So yeah, they call it ketchup. We call it tomato sauce.
Okay, this one we don't have a picture for because it's just a phrase. It can't really be described in a picture. But it's, for us, we say, how's it going? And then what do you guys say?
How's it?
How's it?
How's it? We say how's it, and yeah, I think how's it is nice and like vibey and all of that.
I feel like you just like mushed it all up into like a shorter phrase, which is usually what we do. We
Yeah.
usually shorten things.
It doesn't matter white South African, black South African, colored South Africans. We all say how's it? How's it? It's just a normal
I bet you that started with colors though, because they love to talk fast and.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, we just say how's it going, like what's up, or.
Yeah, we say how's it. So
Another one that reminds me of that is you guys say is it. Like, and you guys say it in a way it's like, oh really, for like, us in America.
Is it?
So I was telling a story. It was the first time I was in South Africa, and I was telling a story to a South African, and he's like, is it? And I was like, yeah, it is. But then like he did that for like a week, and then I realized like, oh, he's saying like, oh really, oh really,
yeah.
or is that so? Yeah,
Yeah, it
that
can
that
be-
one confuses me.
Yeah, it can be really confusing when you're in a different country because I also was super confused when I first moved here. It's like, why do these people speak like this? Like, this is wrong. This is how you're supposed to say it.
And no one explains it for you either. You have to
Yeah.
just figure it out. Because we don't know what's weird.
Yeah, sometimes I wouldn't even engage in conversations because I don't want to be confused and I can be embarrassed because sometimes you do feel embarrassed.
Yeah, or say something and then people are like, what did you
What
just
did you
say?
say?
So babe, what do you call that?
We call that a robot.
What? Where did that come from? Why do you call it a robot? It's like a.
Because it's a robot. It's a robot.
Like
It's
of
a
all the
robot.
things to call it, it's a traffic light.
It cannot be a traffic light.
You
It
see-
cannot be.
You see,
It's
in
a
America,
robot.
we're nice and concise. We say exactly what it is. We're not like out there with like robots. So yeah, we're accurate with our statements. It's boring, but it's accurate.
No. Ours is accurate and it's very correct.
But speaking of robots, it reminds me, when people greet in South Africa, this is something I've noticed. Everyone, like, people are very genuine in South Africa. They have the vibe, they have the energy. But when it comes to greeting, you guys are boring. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, exactly.
You say, how are you, Zia? And how they respond?
I don't want to respond to that.
They say, I'm fine, thanks, and you? Every single person. There's no like.
Fine, thanks, and you?
Everyone says that. There's no changes. Like, I'm fantastic. I'm amazing. What do you have to say about that?
Nothing.
That was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
It was so much fun.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's fun to review all those phrases and just remind ourselves of our cultures and the differences.
And we keep on finding more each and every single day, especially now that I've moved here.
Yeah.
We keep on finding so many different phrases, and like we're still learning. And if you guys have some for us, please comment down below and let us know, because we would like to hear from you and what you have to say.
Yeah, and we'd love to do a part 2. We still have a lot more phrases. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure to hit the like button. And if not, then we'll just forget about it. We won't do it, and we'll not even talk about it. Yeah, scratch it out. See you later. Hey, keep it down. The baby's sleeping. Shh.
We don't have a baby.
Oh yeah. I was just trying to make them be quiet so I can sleep. Say something so that they'll go away.
Hey guys, make sure you subscribe.
And hit that like button. Now shh.